My brother, do not be deceived. Anybody who says 2027 is in the bag for Ashadibola Tinubu deceives him. It's not in the bag yet.
You seem to believe that nothing is wrong with your party, the PDP, because you sound very philosophical that as if everything is okay. Is that a problem in your party? I like us to be sincere.
Listen. Before we got to 2015, the PDP and its president had about 22, 23 governors. And that was the presidency of Jonathan at that time. He would have imagined, and with due respect to him, if we had this conversation at that time, he may have said, oh, we have all the military, whatever, federal mind, this, that, all of those things that make you think that the ruling party is invincible. And he would have felt that way too. And 2 years from that time, he may have imagined that, oh, where would they even come from? Who will even support them? How will they even win? You can do the numbers. All of you are good at that. Where you all mostly fail is that you don't understand the science. Only a few people know that science. I consider Ashadibola Tinubu does know because I've known it for a while, and I don't know the science as well. There are four things you must think about. There is the money, because Nigerians like their money. There is the maths, which is the numbers. Okay, cannot ask a number added to this, which is what all of you are doing. But there is also the science of it, which is why do people behave in a certain way and not in a certain way? What are the things that make them take that decision? Why did they dump Jonathan, who was trying to educate the North, for Buhari, who was barely saying nothing? Why did they dump all of the people they dumped over the years? How did it manage to happen? That's where the science is, and that's where the hard work is, and that's the area I devote a lot of my energy and my time for.
And most Nigerians are not thinking that
they can't, because it's like saying that everybody is a professor or everybody is a doctor of science in the field. That's not their field.
Let me
land one question, one last line, so you get it, and I can shut down that conversation. It is in the realm of that science that you're going to have to manage tribalism and tribal behavior. You are going to manage youth energy and that type of what they can do. That's where you're going to have to manage leaders that are, out there connecting with people. And that's how you're going to, that's the way you manage boots on ground. That's also where you're going to manage international conspiracy of who's backing who and what is backing what. My brother, do not be deceived. Anybody who says 2027 is in the bag for Ashadibola Tinubu deceives him. It's not in the bag yet.
Now, where do you place these arguments on persons say that Nigeria is heading towards a one-party state because people are moving from the PDP, NNPP into the APC? Do you share their perspective? Because others argue that, are you saying the ruling party should build up
in the build-up to 2023? The PDP had 13 governors. Of those 13 governors, 5 of them publicly said they're not going to work for the party's candidate. A few others who did not say it publicly that I know also put their hands up to work for the ruling party.
Just like some PDP governors.
Just hold on a second. All of that added to the numbers of governors that APC had. They could only produce 8.9 million votes. And notwithstanding those 5, and the other ones who were also not even on board, PDP still produced 8.9 million votes. Now, the magic of it that makes you see the point I'm making was actually Peter Obi, who truly did not have one governor. He didn't have one rep. He didn't have one senator up until that election. How did he get 6.1 million? I have said it 1 million times, and I've been warning the obedient to stop being exactly too combative. It's for this argument, which is that if you got 6.1 million without any of these things, without the benefit of the hindsight or how the country is being mismanaged now, why don't you people let us just cool down?
Did you say mismanaged?
No, mismanaged. I'm coming to that. Why don't you people just cool down a bit so that you don't drive the narrative into tribe? So that if you just cool down a bit, and when we drive the narrative into competence, then we manage your Messiah a little bit, I guarantee you 2027 is going to be a shocker. Never mind those who foolishly assume that, oh, one governor or one president or one senator owns all the voting rights of the people under his control. No, he doesn't.
Somebody spoke on Channels TV that drew my attention, and that person is Kenneth Okonkwo, who is an actor or once an actor. I don't know if he's still acting. Kenneth Okonkwo. Kenneth Okonkwo spoke on something, and he made a statement that drew a body language saying that if anybody could defeat the incumbent president, which is President Tinubu, that the ticket must go to the north. Now, I want to quote him wrongly. That thing he said is very wrong. It could be that Kenneth Okonkwo is having an issue with P2B. There is every tendency. But I want to say something. For the government to be in jittery, for this government to shake a little bit, there is only one person in the whole South. When I say South, I mean Southeast, South-South, Southwest, that could be announced as a ticket holder of a major coalition, and all the sitting governors in the South will be shaken. The name of that person is His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi. Look at this. This is not a prophecy, but this is coming from the wisdom of the prophet. Your Excellency Atiku Abubakar, I want to say this. If any northern candidate picks up the ticket, that is the time they will know that the South will want to complete 8 years. And the South does no longer care who is representing them. This is coming from a wisdom of a prophet. The only thing the North is looking at is, if a new person is coming, will the person want to do only 4 years? If the person will do only 4 years, the North will compare between the new person and the sitting president. Who do we support? For this coalition to work, only one thing will happen. One, the first people I mentioned in my first speech, which went viral in our YouTube at Shango TV, I mentioned His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, His Excellency P2B, and all the rest of them. The only way this thing will work and everybody will now be like, who with them will be the next president, is if His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will sheathe his sword, drop it to be close, go and draw a man called Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso close. Let me tell you why. Rabiu Kwankwaso might not agree because of ego. But if anybody claims that they want to rescue Nigeria, you must kill your first ego and rescue whatever you think you want to rescue. Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso came from a state that if you go to America, there is states they call swing state. Those are the states that can just change the whole thing in the result. And Kano is one of that states in Nigeria. And again, he has a sitting governor. He has the popularity there. And he is from a zone called Northwest. If the coalition comes up, that all of them will humble themselves, and Atiku will do what Tinubu did. What did Tinubu do? President Tinubu nominated and supported Buhari and became the national leader of APC. If Atiku will come up and stand between these two people and become the national leader of the coalition and lift up the hand of one man that can defeat all governors in the South, which is P2B, and Senator Kwankwaso can humble himself and remove ego and accept to be a vice president. It might be a difficult thing, but I am telling you, this is the only option that can put the current president in jittery. Apart from that, no other person will defeat President Tinubu. My name is Prophet Emmanuel Chinoso Stebe. Although it's not a prophecy, but I'm telling you what will happen. Apart from this thing I told you now, no other person. I see people say anything can go except Tinubu. Is a lie. President Tinubu is doing well in his own, but there are people we believe that could do better. But once those people, whom a lot of people believe that could do better, does not have the ticket, no other person would defeat President Tinubu. So coalition, this is your final advice. This thing, I'm telling you, is for free. A free advice. Some of you have known me, some of the leaders in this country knows me well, knows that I've advised a lot of sitting presidents today, and those who are former presidents, not as a paid advisor, but as a spiritual father. For that level of wisdom, I can tell you that is contesting that the only way this thing could happen is that there is only one man that once he has the ticket, the whole South will be on standstill. His name is Peter Gregory, and his running mate must come from Northwest. Northwest. And if eventually a man like Senator Kwankwaso agrees to kill his ego and agree to be the vice president, I don't want to announce before 12 o'clock the election will finish. The reason why I don't want to say it is because it's only coming from the wisdom of the prophet. It is not thus says the Lord. But if this thing happen, there is a light on the coalition. But if it does not happen, President Tinubu remains the president. I don't want to say thus says the Lord because it's not thus says the Lord. But this is coming from the wisdom of the prophet. So I'm giving a warning to Kenneth Okonkwo. If you want to, I think that's your personal opinion though. But please, the South need to complete their remaining 4 years before it will go to the North. Equity, fairness, justice is equally what God smiles at. Once it's more than that, God does not smile on it. But I pray that mercy comes upon this nation for a better Nigeria. If you're a Nigerian here, shout a